this is probably a movie that's not going to do too well overseas. Then again, it's probably not going to do too well in the States, but... How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 353. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is The American. The American is directed by Anton Corbijn, and it stars George Clooney as a man named Jack who's told to hide out in Italy for a time until he gets told what he's supposed to do. He gets assigned this last job where he has to make this gun that's kind of like, it's a silencer, but it's a long-range rifle, but it also fires a bunch of bullets at once. It sounds like an impossible gun to make. Also, it has to fit in a small briefcase in order for this woman to carry it around. So, through this process of creating this last job, he meets some people along the way in Italy. He meets this priest who he kind of talks with, and he meets the hooker with the heart of gold character, who he becomes quite fond of. And what ensues is a very, very slow-paced, what I would kind of call the foreign movie that was made here. Well, I guess it was made in Italy, but never mind. The American, I think, is a film that not a lot of people are going to like. I think that by looking at the trailers for this film, if people are expecting a Jason Bourne-style, frantic, shoot-'em-up action movie, you are going to be sorely disappointed. But if you are like me and can appreciate a slower-paced, methodic, thought-provoking, kind of artsy film, I think The American might be for you. I think that George Clooney gives an exceptional performance in The American. I think, for my money at least, I always find that George Clooney is better in films where he's not talking as much. I mean, I think that he's very, you know, charming and smart and clever in movies like Up in the Air or Ocean's 11 and that stuff. But I always think that the movies where he doesn't really say much and all of the emotion is shown in his face, he's so much better in. And the example of this I would give is Michael Clayton, which I think is one of his better performances. And I think The American is also a pretty astounding performance. He's not given a lot to work with as far as the script goes, as far as dialogue goes, but everything is said through his face, and there are just so many scenes where you can see the toll that this work has taken on this man and how badly he wants out, and just all these different emotions that are expressed on his face. I think they're pitch perfect. The cinematography in The American is astounding. It's really beautiful to look at. And on top of that, the directing is also amazing. There are so many choice shots that I think work so perfectly with the film. There's one in particular that I think perfectly kind of captures George Clooney's character, where he's sitting in a coffee shop and he's just kind of looking around. And the framing of the shot has George Clooney on the very, very far right of the screen, and you just see the whole empty coffee shop to the left of him, and I just think that adds a very smart touch to it. I can see a lot of people not liking this movie and saying the standard, not a lot happens, there's no action, that sort of stuff, and which is true, there is not a lot that happens, but I think that it's so much of what's left unsaid about this movie that kind of stuck with me. I think that the symbolism of the film and kind of the things that George Clooney's character encounters throughout the movie really worked for me. I found the ending to this film to be incredibly poetic, and I just, it felt like a very complete journey to me by the end of the film. The hooker with the heart of gold, I know that's a super cliched character, but it kind of worked for me. I would highly recommend seeing The American if you have been watching my reviews and have agreed with me on pretty much everything. If I don't know your movie tastes, you know, if you aren't one to normally go see artsy movies, if you're not one to normally go see a slower paced film, maybe it won't be for you, but it is totally right up my alley, and I absolutely loved The American. I give The American a very strong 4 out of 5. I think it's an incredibly solid piece of work. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one for you.